High above Los Angeles, California, in the San Gabriel Mountains, lie two unique government facilities. One is still open and operating. It's called an experimental forest. It's a place where the US government tests plant genetics and funds other climate-related research studies. The other facility is Morris Dam Reservoir, and it used to be a naval ballistics range. We're here because we received a report of a strange encounter from a gentleman who was chased out of the forest by some kind of bipedal creature. So UFO Seekers is headed to the area to have a look. For the first time ever, UFO Seekers is headed to Los Angeles County. We're making our way to Glendora, known as the Pride of the Foothills. It's our entrance to the Angeles National Forest. It's located just over 20 miles northeast of downtown Los Angeles. Glendora is best known for its restaurants and shopping. The founders of In-N-Out Burger used to live here before they sadly passed away. But we're not here to learn about history or shopping. We're investigating a sighting. This is where we're going to begin our journey, on Glendora Mountain Road. And Glendora Mountain Road will take us to the experimental forest. This lower canyon area is very popular with people who love outdoor activities in the area. It's also popular with bicyclists and motobikers. But we're headed up past all those activities, and we're making our way to the experimental forest. It's located over 20 miles up into the mountains, just below Mount San Antonio. Established in 1933, the San Dimas Experimental Forest covers 25 square miles. The facility seeks to document and quantify the water cycle in semi and steep lands. The facilities include a laboratory, office, residences, a mess hall, storage and utility buildings, water, electricity, propane heating, and phone service. They also claim to have monitoring equipment, rain gauges, steam gauges, debris dams, and water quality samplers. The experimental forest also covers the dam located in Big Dalton Canyon, and that's where our witness encountered a creature.
My name is Don Stewart, and I had an unexplained experience back in 1975. We were chased down the mountain by something very large. Some friends of mine, some high school friends, we would go up to Little Dalton Canyon, Big Dalton Canyon, Little Dalton Canyon, and go up in this day use park area and just hang out, just kick back. You know, there was picnic tables and a little zoo there, and we would just kind of hang out after school or whatever. One day we decided we're going to hike way up on the hill, and we hiked about 20 minutes up this ridge, and we just were sitting down resting and telling jokes and stuff and goofing off, whatever, like how kids do, and all of a sudden it sounded like these boulders were falling out of the trees. And they started getting louder, and the boulders started getting bigger and closer. This thing started chasing us, and the ground would literally shake with each step it took. When it was running, it was with every stride, you could hear a deep breath, like that. And I could actually feel the breath coming down from about 6 foot above me, down on top of my head, my shoulders, my neck. And we got down to the bottom, and this thing stopped at the culvert, and there was a bunch of reeds growing up at the culvert, a bunch of cattails and things like that. And then the water went underneath the paved road. We were parked across the paved road, and I looked over while I was shaking. I was shaking, waiting for my friend to unlock the car, and I looked across the road where we had just been, and I saw the reeds spread apart, and all I could see was just this big black gap. I couldn't see anything. It was just a big gap. It was just the reeds spreading apart. I said, "Let's go now, let's go." And so we sped off, and that was pretty much the last time we went there.
We also took detailed images of the experimental forest, and upon further review, you can definitely see more underground openings than the double doors that were visible from the ridge. Is this facility responsible for some kind of human or animal genetic program happening underground?
Why do these entrances go into the ground or go into a side of a mountain? So that's why I think that I think the day-use park was probably a smokescreen for what was really going on.
Don may be right. The experimental forest may have been a covert military facility, because located just 20 miles to the west is Morris Dam Reservoir. Morris Dam was a secret torpedo testing site. The first non-official torpedo test took place here in 1942 and was fully functional during the time frame when Don witnessed the strange creature in Big Dalton Canyon, and the Navy finally abandoned the facility in 1993. This facility undoubtedly has underground complexes, and would it be so difficult to connect to the experimental forest area? A visible remnant of the past facility is a large concrete slide. It was used for the variable angle launcher, which would test large caliber projectiles, through 2 launching tubes and a movable bridge 300 feet long. And the underwater trajectory data was captured by 24 hydrophones and high-speed cameras. The Morris Dam ballistic range also had enough space for the assembly of projectiles and the storage of explosives. Located on top of the dam was a 150-foot launching tower, used to test rockets and rocket-propelled projectiles. The tower area also included a high-velocity slingshot facility, used to test free-fall drops. We believe this facility is connected to Don's story, and that's because he would see Navy officers constantly entering the experimental forest through Big Dalton Canyon.
A big white van with blocked out windows would pull up, stop at this gate where it's all fenced off with Constantine wire and everything, and the gate was probably about 10 foot tall, and a guy all decorated in navy blue uniform, real sharp looking guy, out in the middle of nowhere, getting out, unlock the gate, get back in the van, pull in, get back out, lock the gate, and take off up the mountain somewhere. And that was it. And then we'd see him come back out once in a while.
Now that we've established a definitive military presence, it makes you wonder, was the government testing some kind of super soldier or some type of experimental animal species? Is that what chased Don out of the forest? The areas near Big Dalton and Little Dalton Canyon have changed dramatically since Don lived here. The suburban and residential growth pretty much touches the national forest. So instead of looking for any activity down in that area, we're headed up higher into the mountains, towards Mount San Antonio, which stands above a 10,000-foot elevation. If there was some kind of creature living in this forest, they would definitely retreat to the highest peaks in the area, away from the presence of humans. So we set up full spectrum cameras, visual light cameras, still photography, and audio recording devices. While up in the area near Mount San Antonio, we didn't witness any anomalies or anything strange. Now that it was dark, we wanted to head back to the experimental forest. We were going to watch the facility and see if anybody was coming in or out, or if there was any activity on the federally restricted land. Using our equipment, we kept a watchful eye on the experimental forest. Although at first, there wasn't much of anything happening in the area, other than commercial air traffic overhead. In our still photography looking north towards the desert, we captured the strange light streak. The most likely explanation is an aircraft moving from left to right. The strange look of the streak was caused when the aircraft turned its lights off. It's extremely difficult to view satellites from the Los Angeles suburbs, but we managed to catch this one headed east over Glendora. It was at this time that the experimental forest lit up. A glowing green light was coming from within a tree-lined area, making it impossible to view the source. We didn't view any people or vehicles in the area.
I think it's kind of made me respect the forest a lot more, and to really be aware of your surroundings when you're hiking. And there are things out in the forest that a lot of people don't realize are there.
The only images or videos containing an anomaly are right here. It's a lot of 6 pictures taken in rapid succession. And what you're looking at is some type of transparent object moving from the lower right to the upper right. The images were all taken within a 2-second span. And while some may say it's dust or a bug, it's our experience that those things usually show up black. They also typically have a defined mass, even if they're streaking or blurred. As you can see, this looks like some type of weird lens flare or reflection, but lens flares don't typically move. And if you want to say it's a bird that's being blurred, here's an actual bird taken with the same camera and same lens, and you can see how perfect the bird looks. The camera shutter speed is set at 1/4000, making it impossible for an object to show up blurred, unless the object is moving extremely fast. We're not trying to give an explanation for what this is, and if you've seen it before, we'd love to see your images or videos. Thanks for watching our video. Show your support by subscribing to our channel. Click that button right there. And if you want to become a patron and donate money to UFO Seekers, click that button right there. If you want to watch another one of our videos, YouTube says watch that one right there. And if you want to learn more about us, visit UFOseekers.com.